Imagine this. You're at the peak of your career. You're running a successful business. You're making deals. You're living the life that you worked so hard to build. But then one day, you get a call from your doctor. The tests are back, and you've been diagnosed with a chronic, incurable condition. And in that moment, every dollar in your bank account, it means nothing. You'll trade it all just to have your health back. And now imagine that you've been told the diagnosis was wrong. You're healthy, the relief is overwhelming, but how long does that gratitude last? A week? A month? Then life creeps back in, and you start taking your health for granted again. Does this sound familiar? Here's the truth. Your health is an invisible asset. It's priceless, yet it's often overlooked until it's threatened or taken away. And today, we're talking about how you can shift your mindset, starting now, to treat your health like the billion-dollar asset that it truly is. I'm Julian Hayes II, founder of Executive Health, where I help forward-thinking and mission-driven CEOs and those with significant responsibility optimize their health and their performance with precision. If you would like help with a bespoke and comprehensive approach to your health, click on the link below for a complimentary Executive Health Chemistry meeting. Now, today's episode is about adopting a mindset shift that can not just add years to your life, but vitality and vigor to your executive leadership, and most importantly, your key relationships, such as those with your family. And here's the big idea. CEOs and all of us should be thinking in decades when it comes to our health. While we act in the now, we must also think about the distant future. Where do you want to be in 10, 15, or even 20 years from now? Thinking long-term about your health, just as you do with your business. This encourages deliberate choices, sustainable habits that align with your vision. And I want to share 4 key ideas to help you shift this mindset. And number 1 is the idea that health is truly a billion-dollar asset. So your health is worth more than any number in your bank account. And to put more context into that, think about this. There's a healthy man and he has 1,000 wishes, right? And then let's take a sick billionaire and he probably only has 1. And health is the invisible metric because there's not a number or a clear number on a screen that you can see and measure it with. You really only notice this thing when it's compromised. And if health were a financial portfolio, would your daily actions increase in value or would it drain and decrease it? So are you making deposits with solid nutrition that's personalized to your unique biology? Are you appropriately training with both weight and cardiovascular training? Are you sleeping? Are you recovering properly? Are you paying attention to that stuff? How's your relationships? How's your environment? How are these things being managed? Or are you withdrawing your portfolio with unmitigated and out of control stress, poor nutrition, minimal exercising, and you're just all around operating inside of a giant inflamed dumpster that is currently your body? Start treating your health like the most valuable asset because it is, and truly think of it as your billion-dollar asset. And so the second idea here is to think about the hedonic treadmill of health. Us humans, we have an uncanny ability to adapt to our circumstances for better or for worse. And, this is why gratitude for our health often fades quickly after a scare. But this hedonic treadmill, it keeps us focused on the next goal, the next achievement. And unfortunately, our health sometimes, especially with high achievers, high performers, and leaders, it often takes a back seat. But this is also often unintentionally, and CEOs often fall into this trap, thinking short-term wins can compensate for long-term neglect, or that you can just buy back your health down the line, or you can just take care of your health when everything slows down. And that's true to a certain standpoint, but there's a limit to which you can do that. And so this is why, in this case, build practices that continually reinforce the value of your health. Keep it top of mind. So start each day with a moment of gratitude for your body's capabilities. And this next part may seem like a downer, but keep both the gift of life and equally the fragility of life top of mind. Schedule annual executive checkups, quarterly blood work, and keep health not as an afterthought, but as a priority. And the third idea here is I want you to think in decades. So if you're running a successful business, chances are you got a 5 or 10-year plan, maybe even longer than that. You probably have an end game, perhaps. The same thing with your career. You probably have a 5 to 10-year plan with your career as well. So why don't we do the same with our health? And I remember I was speaking at a conference last month, or in December, yeah, so last month. And I mentioned that to a handful of people that a lot of people can tell you what they want to do with their business, what wealth goals they're going after. But what about your health goals? What are you going after then with your health goals? And a lot of times people can just say, I want to feel good or be free and absent of disease. And that sounds logical and good, but there's no emotion behind that. And this got me thinking about long-term thinking and why it's so important. And number one is, of course, long-term thinking brings consistency. And this creates habits that provide longer and lasting value. Things, of course, like exercise, optimized nutrition, and preventative care measures. The next one is avoiding burnout. CEOs, a lot of hard-charging individuals, tend to push hard in the short term and neglect recovery. But having a decade-focused approach balances high performance with sustainability. It's not just about working less. It's about treating your health just as you do your business. And the other one is what I'm going to call leadership longevity. Healthy leaders make better decisions. They inspire their teams. They remain sharp well into their later years. Business is ultimately a multi-decade sport that doesn't have an off season. So think about where you want to be in 2035, even 2045. What energy levels, what strength, what type of mental clarity do you envision? And so start to reverse engineer that outcome by building the habits that will get you there, or at least give you the best chance to get there. And number 4 here is, this is more some practical steps that you can take to have a decade-focused health mindset. Number 1 here is I want you to audit your current health. Just as you would review a financial portfolio, assess your health the same way. Use comprehensive tools like lab testing, various performance metrics, various assessments such as doing a genetic test, doing a DEXA scan to look into things like your visceral fat, microbiome testing, micronutrient testing. There's so many different ones, and also have daily wearable wellness tracking. So there's plenty of wearables out there, and some people like to wear it on the wrist, some people like to wear it on the rings, and so there's something for everyone there. And the next one is to set long-term health goals. As I mentioned earlier about the financial thing, and a lot of people having their wealth goals known and their career goals, business goals, what do you want to achieve in the next 10 years with your health? Move to the 20 years soon. Even think about 30 years from now. Time's going to move by fast. And I don't know. What does health look like to you? What does it feel like to you? Do you want to run a marathon at 50? Do you want to ski at 75 with no problem? Do you want to keep leading your company with energy at 60? Do you just not want to be a witness to your grandkids and to your great grandkids, but do you want to be an active participant? Write it down and write it down with detail. Write it down with some actual emotion. Invest in preventative and forward thinking practices is another suggestion here. Schedule regular executive checkups and personalized assessments. Focus on the fundamentals, of course, of sleep, nutrition, and exercise, incorporating various ways that you can kind of help mitigate your stress, and things like meditation, things like journaling, or even just taking time for yourself to get into your own thoughts. You can also look into things like a VO2 max test, and also consider other cognitive enhancement assessments as well. And number 4 here in this portion is to adopt a legacy perspective. Your health isn't just about you. It's about your family, it's about your team, it's about your community, and it's about your ability to make an impact over the long haul. So I encourage you to create intents, to create vivid emotional scenes inside your head that you can hold on to, that you can go to and tap into when you feel slacking coming about with your health, when you feel like skipping some of the behaviors that you know are actually good for you, but you're not doing them. So the big thing and the big picture to sum this all up is your health is $1 billion asset. By thinking in decades, you're not just securing your own longevity, you're ensuring that you can lead, that you can innovate, and that you can thrive for years to come. Treat your health like you treat your business, with vision, with strategy, and consistent investment. And so I'm going to leave you with this question. If you're already a billionaire in health, how will you manage and grow that wealth in 2025 and beyond? So which part of today's episode resonated with you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this helpful, hit the subscribe button, the follow button, share this video with someone who needs to hear this, could benefit from it. And thanks for watching again. I'll see you in the next episode, and go be the CEO of your health and your life. Peace.